Attention passionate Baltimore Ravens fans. Latest news, something big is happening in the AFC North and it could change the game. We're talking about a direct impact on Baltimore Ravens' path to another Super Bowl run, a power shift that could leave a division rival stumbling for years. We're bringing this to you firsthand. But before that, if you're a true Baltimore Ravens fan, subscribe to the channel to strengthen this passion even more. Show that you're also part of this family. Let's help each other reach 1,000 subscribers. Share with YOUR, FRINDS, and Baltimore RAVENS fans. Let's get to the news now. Let's dive into a story that's been buzzing around the NFL circles and has Ravens fans talking. It's all about a potential blockbuster trade rumor involving none other than Patrick Surtain, the Denver Broncos, shutdown corner, and the Baltimore Ravens. This isn't just your run-of-the-mill trade talk. It's a strategic move that could reshape the AFC North, bolster the Ravens' secondary, and set them up for a serious playoff push. But how did we get here? Well, it all starts with the Broncos' rough season and their plans to tank, coupled with Baltimore's needs on defense and their ongoing quest to establish a dominant secondary that can shut down even the most explosive offenses in the league. First, let's set the scene. The Denver Broncos, currently sitting at a disappointing 2-7 record, are clearly in rebuild mode. They're looking to cut costs, accumulate draft picks, and focus on building for the future. Reports suggest that the Broncos are willing to move Surtain, one of the league's premier shutdown corners, in exchange for a second-round pick in 2026 and a fourth-round pick in 2027. That's a significant haul for a player of Surtain's caliber, especially considering Denver's current position. They're also looking to free up roughly $10 million in cap space, which they plan to reinvest into their offensive line, a unit that's been struggling to keep quarterback Russell Wilson upright and productive. From a strategic standpoint, this move makes a lot of sense for Denver. They get draft capital and cap flexibility, while focusing on a full rebuild that could see them select a top-tier quarterback in next year's draft or develop their existing talent. Now looking at the Ravens, the need for a player like Surtain is obvious. After a relatively quiet trade deadline, Baltimore's secondary remains a bit thin, especially after the Gilman trade that depleted their safety depth. Adding a lockdown corner like Surtain would elevate their entire defense, providing a true shutdown option that can take on top receivers and give their pass rush more time to get home. Surtain isn't just good, he's elite. His stats this season are eye-opening. Since 2025, he's been one of the most consistent cornerbacks in the league, with 4 interceptions, 10 pass deflections, and a 47% completion allowed rate. His Pro Football Focus grade of 94. And his potential Defensive Player of the Year caliber play make him a perfect fit to lock down the opponent's top target, freeing up the safeties and giving the Ravens' defense a new level of stability and confidence. What makes Surtain so special? Well, he's a true coverage lockdown. From 2025 up until September 15th of this year, he's allowed just 47% completion rate on targets thrown his way, with 10 pass deflections and 4 interceptions. Numbers that speak volumes about his ability to shut down top receivers. His career stats are impressive, with 18 interceptions and over 55 pass deflections, and advanced metrics like EPA per target at -0.38, and an average yards after catch allowed of just 3. 7 yards show that he's not just a ball hawk, but also a technician who can limit yards after catch and force quarterbacks into bad throws. His man coverage win rate is a staggering 81%. And he's targeted only about 9% of the time he's on the field, meaning quarterbacks are avoiding him when they can, which is exactly what you want from a shutdown corner. In terms of impact, Surtain's presence on the field would be transformative for Baltimore. Imagine him shadowing the opposing team's best receiver, forcing quarterbacks to look elsewhere, and creating turnovers that can swing games. His ability to double-team and blanket receivers allows the Ravens to be more aggressive with their blitz packages and free up their pass rushers. Plus, his versatility in coverage, able to excel both inside and outside, gives defensive coordinator Mike Macdonald more tactical options. The Ravens' defense, which has shown flashes of brilliance but also moments of inconsistency, could become one of the league's most feared units with Surtain at corner. His addition would also take a lot of pressure off Marlon Humphrey, who's been solid but sometimes overexposed due to the lack of complementary shutdown corners. Now, let's talk about the other side of this potential trade, the Broncos' perspective. They're in a full rebuild, and trading Surtain makes sense from a cap and draft capital standpoint. If Denver projects a 4-13 record as some analysts predict, their draft stock will be high, and they'll want to focus on developing young talent, especially at the quarterback position. The $8 million in cap space they'd free up by trading Certain could be used to bolster their offense, which has been inconsistent, and try to build a more balanced team from the ground up. Denver's odds of making the playoffs are slim at plus 1,200, and with their secondary ranked 28th in the league, allowing approximately 27 points per game, it's clear they're prioritizing the future over the present. Trading Certain is a bold move, but it aligns with their long-term strategy of accumulating draft picks and building a more sustainable team. On the other hand, for the Ravens, acquiring Certain would be akin to hitting the jackpot. They're sitting at 3-5 after a relatively quiet deadline, and their defense has been a mix of promising flashes and costly mistakes. The secondary, especially after losing Gilman, needs reinforcement, and Certain's addition would significantly boost their chances of turning things around. His presence would allow Baltimore to be more aggressive on third down and in critical moments, knowing they have a shutdown corner to rely on. The Ravens have shown resilience this season, beating divisional rivals and climbing the standings, but adding a player of Certain's caliber could push them from a decent team to a serious contender in the AFC. Statistically, Certain shutdown ability is comparable to some of the best in the league, and his impact extends beyond just the numbers. His presence commands respect from quarterbacks, forcing them to throw into tighter windows or avoid targeting him altogether. This can lead to more incompletions, turnovers, and ultimately more wins for Baltimore. His ability to play versatile coverage, combined with his elite skills, makes him a perfect fit for the Ravens' defensive scheme, which thrives on aggressive, disciplined coverage and creating turnovers. The addition of Certain could also serve as a catalyst for other defenders to elevate their play, knowing they have a true shutdown corner on the other side. Looking ahead, the potential trade also raises questions about the Broncos' future and how they plan to rebuild. Will they target a quarterback in this draft? Will they focus on rebuilding their offensive line with the cap space and picks they gain? For Baltimore, the focus is on maximizing their window of opportunity, especially with Lamar Jackson leading the charge. The Ravens are always in the hunt, whether it's for a playoff spot or a deep run in the postseason, and adding a player like Certain could be the piece that puts them over the top. Their defense has been solid at times, but to really compete with the best teams in the league, they need that elite lockdown corner to match up with the top offenses like the Chiefs, Bills, and Dolphins. Of course, it's all speculation for now, but the whispers are getting louder, and the NFL community is watching closely. If a deal does go through, it would be a seismic shift in the AFC North landscape. The Ravens' secondary would instantly become one of the league's best, and their chances of making a deep playoff run would skyrocket. The Broncos, meanwhile, would gain valuable draft capital and cap flexibility to kickstart their rebuild. No matter how it plays out, one thing is for sure. Baltimore fans should be excited about the possibility of adding a true elite corner, a game-changer who can help lead the team to new heights. Pause here just for a second. If you want the YOUTUBE algorithm to keep recommending the latest Baltimore Ravens news to you, it's super important that you leave a like on this video. Go ahead, it's quick and it makes a big difference. Thank you. Now let us continue with the big reveal. So what do you think, Ravens fans? Would you love to see Patrick Surtain donning the purple and black? Can he be the piece that pushes Baltimore into serious Super Bowl contention? The potential is there, and with the right moves, the Ravens could be on the cusp of something special. The defense, already solid, could become unstoppable with a true lockdown corner like Certain, creating mismatches and forcing quarterbacks into making mistakes at critical moments. As the season progresses, keep an eye on this story because it might just be one of the biggest offseason moves in recent Ravens history. Whether it happens or not, it's definitely a conversation worth having, and Ravens fans should be excited about the possibilities ahead. Now I want to hear from you. What's your take? Drop your thoughts in the comments below. Your opinion matters so much to us and to the Baltimore Ravens. And don't forget, I'll be back soon with more updates, so stay tuned for the latest Baltimore Ravens news.